Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Guys, Pure Drive 98, newest version. Stay tuned. Guys, are you a racket stringer? Do you want to make a little extra cash? Because there's people in your neighborhood looking for string jobs. You need to join Direct Tennis. Direct Tennis is your one-stop shop for all your tennis needs. And if you are a stringer, you need to join their global network. For $2.99, you can be part of Direct Tennis. Click on the link below and get your stringing going. All right, so newest Pure Drive 98, finally. 2 years ago, in the previous generation, I deemed this racket of the year for 2023 as I liked how it played, I liked how stiff it was, I liked how it plowed through. They made a key change on this newest one though. The previous versions were 16 by 19. This one is now a 16 by 20. I wonder if it's going to alter, the way it plays and the way I like it. Let's take it out to the only person that I know that uses the previous version of the Pure Drive 98, Coach Jerod, and see if he likes the newest version. And let's see if I think it's better or worse than the previous one, which was Racket of the Year. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, we just got off the court with the new Pure Drive 98. Now, Coach Jerod's current racket is I guess it's the old Pure Drive 98 now. So you would be the resident expert in this racket. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, anytime a brand new racket of yours comes out, it's always pure excitement and just, always just really excited to get on the court and probably move your feet a little bit better and swing a little bit harder. Minus all those factors. I think the biggest change that they made to this stick was they kind of followed suit with the Pure Aero 98. Instead of being a 16 by 19, they made it a 16 by 20. So added another extra cross. And actually at the 9 and 3 positions, or 3 and 9 are at kind of like 2 and 11, they actually made this into a box beam at the top. So the racket definitely felt a little bit more flexy than the previous version. And at the same time, the launch angle, in my opinion, was a little bit different. So with my current Pure Drive 98, aka the previous version, I felt like I was getting some crazy spin. Sometimes the ball would loop a little bit higher than normal. And I think adding the cross here, the extra cross, actually kind of made my balls a little bit flatter. I was a little bit more confident with kind of going for rip shots. And at the same time, I think off-center shots were a little bit more consistent, in my opinion. Because there are areas in the previous racket where it's you kind of feel a little bit jarring when you're hitting off-center shots. But this one kind of felt stable throughout. I think the new Pure Drives do feel a little bit softer than the previous ones. Although I would say that it's a little bit less powerful than mine. I still think mine has a little bit more juice, and I think that's, again, because there's one less string, and it's just a little bit stiffer. But yeah, overall, I don't think there's a huge change between this one and the previous one. It still feels very similar. I think this one just takes a slight adjustment period just to get used to, again, the extra cross and a little bit more flex at the top of the hoop. But yeah, I mean, on the Pro Tour, you got Pericard, Pesci Merrick, Pericard, and Jerry Shang, who are some of the cleanest ball strikers using this stick. So it's pretty easy to see that this is a baseliner's racket. So if you guys are out in the market for a 98, give this one a shot.
Coach Kira, you're not a 98 user, but I'm sure you've picked up Coach Jerod's racket before and swung it around, and then you swung this one around today. What did you think of that?
I actually really liked this one. I think I like it better than Jerod's. But compared to the 100, yeah, I felt like definitely a little bit more control, but I felt like I could still really swing out with this, and I was still developing, like, you know, a good amount of power. I was still happy with the amount of power and how the ball was coming off the racket. So, yeah, I kind of liked this one.
Your ball was coming slower. I mean, not slower, lower and faster. I was like, it's barely clearing the net. Just shoom, shoom. I wonder if it's because the extra weight and the extra cross was causing that. But you definitely swung out nicely with it, which I'm guessing in time, your balls start just getting a little taller and taller, just as you get adjusted to the weight and that extra cross. Did you feel the flex, though, that Coach Jerod's talking about in this part?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like, yeah, a little more flexible.
Do you like that flex?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually kind of...
Keeps the ball in a little bit more?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm honestly, like, I kind of think I like this 98 almost. A little more so than my 100, but...
Uh-oh. See, this is the problem with having new rackets, because you create new racket journeys.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
So, but I love the previous version of this. I love your version. I actually said it was the racket of the year in 2023. And it would be my racket if I was with Babolat. This one, I'm not sure. I like it a lot, don't get me wrong. I don't like the extra cross, because I think, in my opinion, you put it way down here, it's kind of useless. All you're doing is just doing, I don't know, crap to it. But I just love 1619s. I actually love 1618s. A 1617 even works for me. But that might break too many strings for most other people. So I understand, okay? I understand. Like, people like Coach Jerod breaking strings all the time. He needs that extra cross. He might need an extra 3 crosses. But it plays well. It's firmer than I thought it was, but that's good for this racket. It needs it. It actually provided good spin, good feel, which I love. I think it's a winner. But I like the previous version more, though. Just my opinion. All right. Are you switching, or are we thinking, or is she gonna take this one from you?
Well, it sounds like Kira might be making the switch. I mean, guys, she was hitting pretty well in the play test here. For me personally, I might have to echo a little bit your commentary. It'd be a tough switch, I think, just because they added a few more changes where it's not as responsive as my previous one. But yeah, I mean, as you know, the previous one's also super stiff, so I might need to switch to this one just for the arm comfort, or we might be doing some other stuff. I don't know yet, so it's kind of all up in the air right now, but it's a comfortable racket. You guys should definitely give it a shot. It's definitely one of those, you know, good 98s out there. And then, yeah, the 16x20 definitely hones it in a little bit more. So
yeah, this is kind of one of those rackets that are not as well known. And kind of like the Pure Arrow when it first came out in the VS. Nobody cared, right? Once Alcaraz used it, everybody cared, right? Maybe if Alcaraz uses this one, everybody would buy it, right? But you need somebody like that. Oh, Sinner can use this, right? Suddenly you'll sell 1 million rackets. But what do I know? Anyways, guys, thank you for doing this test with me. I'm going to hand you this. Tell them where they can find you.
You guys find me on Instagram at Ma Tennis.
You can find our joint Instagram at KJ Tennis.
Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.